I can't actually confirm whether this is in fact 100% true because it sounds a little wild to me. I mean, if it is true though, if it actually is real that Tesla's going to be able to build a car every 5 seconds, then it'll be cheaper for Tesla to make a car in America than it would even be in China. The difference is insane in terms of production speed and production numbers and production efficiency. I think this would be unrivaled. We have never before seen any car manufacturer in the world produce a car in less than 30 seconds, let alone in 5 seconds. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. We need a caveat, don't we? We do, because I don't know if this is going to happen. These are claims made by Tesla, which could be accurate, but I've got no way of really, no one does. No one's got any way of really knowing if these claims are true. Obviously, it's Tesla's goal to make a car every 5 seconds. If it can pull this off, and if it can do what it's planning on doing, which is, what Elon Musk just said a few days ago. Somebody in the crowd, Elon Musk was doing a speech, somebody in the crowd said to him, are we going to be replaced by robots? And Musk said, oh, no, you guys are all promoted to be managers. You're going to be a manager of a team of 20, 30, 50 robots. Now, obviously, that would mean that Tesla would fire a large number of Tesla's staff and have them running the factories and have these managers running their groups of robots. So yes, it is true that of Tesla's 125,000 employees, if they're able to, they will get rid of a lot of them. They have no choice. They will have to, because their competition, which are Chinese car companies in particular, are doing the same thing. They'll have no choice but to respond. But then again, I guess if Tesla can make a car in 5 seconds, maybe they won't need to fire anyone. So what is all this talking about? Well, over the weekend, Elon Musk said at the company's Q1 2025 all-hands meeting, which was
produce a car ultimately in less than 5 seconds. Like, can you imagine a car coming off the line in less than 5 seconds? That's like, whoa. Which means casting's got to happen fast. Yeah.
Kind of criticized by the media. I actually thought it was a pretty good speech, and I can't say that means I agree with everything Musk is doing or saying. I most certainly do not. But I did think it was, in general, a pretty impressive talk, and definitely better than a lot of Elon Musk stuttering that he does. I honestly think to myself, Elon Musk, why don't you do some public speaking classes? Because he stutters a lot. He obviously can think quicker than the average human being, but his ability to actually elucidate and talk about his thoughts, it can sometimes be really, really difficult to follow because he's pausing and stuttering quite often. Anyhow, in this meeting, he seemed to do that a lot less for some reason. And he revealed the company's upcoming Cybercab robotaxi will roll off the production line every 5 seconds with a revolutionary new production method. At the meeting, broadcast on X, Musk answered a question from a Tesla staff member about an update on the Cybercab, saying Cybercab is not only a revolutionary car design, but it's also a revolutionary manufacturing process. Musk said the Cybercab's production line design is inspired from high-tech consumer electronics production lines rather than that seen in other car factories. So he was actually made some interesting comments about how you build toy cars and how he looked at how you build toy cars. He said the design of the Cybercab line, it doesn't look like a normal car manufacturing line. It looks like a really high-speed consumer electronics line. And then he talked about how Tesla, it was like an idea that just popped into his head, which was kind of odd. But he said, you know what? Why not get a gigacasting machine that can make 20 gigacastings at once? He said that's going to be the bottleneck, which would be to have this gigacasting machine as big as 10 or 20 houses. That's what he was saying that Tesla would potentially do to solve that issue. In fact, the line will move so fast, he said, that people can't even get close to it. I think we'll be able to produce a car ultimately less than 5 seconds. Musk further said that the casting technology Tesla already incorporates into the manufacturing line of its cars has to happen much faster if it can keep up with the production rate on the Cybercab line. Production of a vehicle every 5 seconds would be, well, it's unheard of. It's never happened in the industry. As Riz says at thedriven.io, it's likely to be the only mass-produced vehicle to have achieved this, if Tesla does in fact achieve it. It's not doing this yet. So if you're a Tesla fan, I just want to point out Tesla have not done this yet because they're working on it, and it could happen in the future. It's certainly possible. I don't think 5 seconds will happen within the next couple of years. In the future, I mean, let's be honest, when you remove human beings from the production line, it's most certainly possible once you've done that. For comparison, Tesla's Model Y, the world's best-selling car last year, achieves this every 35 seconds. So it's
about 43 seconds. Shanghai, they're running 2 lines for Model Y now, and they run 13K in 140 hours. They got to be below, like closer to 35 seconds.
35 seconds.
It's currently one of the fastest built cars in the world, around 35 seconds. Xiaomi, they say that they make their SU7. It takes them about 55 seconds. So a little bit longer than a Tesla Model Y, but still a really fast time. But those 2 cars, they're manufactured much more quickly than cars from legacy automakers. Much, much, much more quickly. The difference is actually huge. People estimate it takes legacy automakers a couple of minutes to make a car in comparison on average. This was recently shared, by the way, in an interview by Sandy Munro, who actually did this interview with Lars Moravy, who's Tesla's Vice President of Engineering. During the interview, Moravy said, Shanghai, they are running 2 lines for the Model Y now. They've got to be closer to 35 seconds. So that's the first time we've heard on how quickly Tesla's producing a Model Y in China, which is remarkably fast. That speed might change though, because we know we've got a new Tesla Model Y coming in China. It's going to be a 7-seat version. It's going to be a stretch version, a longer wheelbase version. Then they've got a different version of the Model Y. It's going to be smaller, 20% smaller. So there's going to be 3 different versions of the Tesla Model Y. Plus, they're going to sell a pared down, cheaper version of the existing Model Y, which will be around 10% cheaper. It will be missing some features like the screen, the media screen for the back seat people. So there's going to be a few different Model Ys coming. And I would say that Tesla says those different versions of the Model Y will be built on the same production line. And if that's the case, I don't think Tesla will be able to maintain their 35-second production speed because of the complexities going on. If you look at car production lines when they're building different models of cars and they have significant different variants, then the production speed slows down. Always. That's always a net result. Tesla unveiled the Cybercab at the We Robot event in October of 2024. Apparently, the price point will be $30,000 US dollars, which is around about 45,000 Australian dollars. Tesla have said it won't be a normal car you can buy. It'll just be a robo-taxi. But I don't believe that. I think Tesla are actually going to sell it. Now, I'm going to get some emails. You're wrong. This is what Tesla said. You're wrong. But I'm speculating here, guys. So don't email me about this. I speculate Tesla will sell it as a robo-taxi, make it for themselves as a robo-taxi, and also make it as a car with a steering wheel. Sounds wild, doesn't it? But I think it will. I think Tesla are going to respond to a decline in sales this year, a likely decline, with products that people can actually buy as well, because Tesla's investors will want them to do that. And I think that's going to happen. So how will Tesla make the Cybercab so cheap and the new Tesla Model Y cheaper as well? Well, they're doing things like reducing the number of parts. The new Model Y actually already has reduced parts in comparison to the non-Juniper Model Y, which helped Tesla to reduce prices, improving manufacturing methods, speeding them up, automated production lines, moving more people out of the production lines, putting more robots in, and also apparently working on how they can simply make cars faster than before, which helps them save money. An engineer on the Cybercab program revealed that the total structural parts count in the Cybercab would stand at around 80 when compared with the Model Y, which has 200. So they're going to reduce the number of parts by an enormous number, going from 200 structural parts to 80. That would make it much cheaper, more efficient to produce the Cybercab than the Model Y. And it would mean it would have 60% fewer structural components, which would create a massive increase in performance in terms of production line speed. So guys, what are your thoughts about this? I realize and recognize very much so right now what's going on in the United States. So I know what's going on with the sentiment around Tesla. Absolutely, this is going to affect Tesla sales this year. Tesla sales in China, I think, will be okay. In the United States and other places, Western places, Europe, they're definitely likely to struggle. We know that the factory in Germany is unquestionably having some pretty big challenges right now. If Tesla can pull this off, though, they can automate production and build a car every 5 seconds, then this might be a juggernaut that even the most ardent Tesla haters can't contend with. I think this would be a thing that if Tesla can pull this off and they can get their approvals for the robotaxi, they can get it licensed and they can make one every 5 seconds, I don't think anyone, even BYD, could contend with that, at least not in the next 3 to 5 years. This would give Tesla a huge advantage, but I do think there are ways off this happening yet. It's not going to happen overnight. It's certainly not going to happen this year. It's Well, it's even questionable whether or not it will happen next year. But what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments.